One other benefit and reason you want to be an entrepreneur is that you can be fired, man. You can't just be fired. Who is going to fire you? You are an entrepreneur, for crying out loud. You are not the person depending on a company's paycheck. Oh, hell no. Nobody can fire you. Nobody can fire you. You're the boss of your own. Let's go. Next. Happiness. There is some level of happiness that comes with creating and co-owning something. One thing I advise people, this is the most tricky, tempting, and most deceiving part of entrepreneurship, that it brings you happiness. Of course it brings you happiness, but yes, that happiness also has a price. The price of sleepless nights, to know that all the salaries are on you, the rents and the utility bills are on you. That happiness is being poisoned most of the time. But there's some happiness that comes with co-owning or creating something. All right, remember, an entrepreneur is not a business owner. There's a difference between entrepreneurship and business. There's a businessman and businesswoman. There's an entrepreneur. Go find the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur as an assignment. You'll see the difference. When I'm talking about entrepreneur, a lot of people your mind is going to who is to the business person. That's not what I'm really talking about. I'm talking about an entrepreneur. There's an excitement that comes with creating and challenging yourself every day. Every day you challenge yourself in the marketplace. You want to sell more, you want to communicate more, you want to solve problems, and in return you want to monetize that solution and make a lot of money. You want to drive a big team. You want to share equity with the team so that you all co-own the business and grow. Yeah, a lot of Cameroonians want to be entrepreneurs, young Cameroonians, but I should tell you, there's a better way of being an entrepreneur. That is being an intrapreneur. At the end of this video, if we have some time, I'm going to talk about intrapreneurship. Actually, my next video is all going to be about intrapreneurship, because intrapreneurship is the new entrepreneurship, following nowadays. You don't want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be an intrapreneur. Intrapreneur is an entrepreneur that works with an existing entrepreneur. You get that? It makes it easy for you to express your entrepreneurship tendencies if you really have them. So happiness is one good thing. Entrepreneurship gives you a lot of happiness. If you meet me all the time, I'm so happy all the time, all the time, all the time. Because of creating, building a community, co-owning, and doing new things every day, there's an excitement that comes with that. Next, you don't have to be a genius. Oh yes, you don't have to be a genius. You can recruit as many geniuses as possible, guys. That the guys who have the 5 A's and the best GPAs in school, you just need to, if you're a good entrepreneur, you will learn the aspect of effective communication and leverage, and you're going to leverage on the genius. You don't need to be a genius, you just need to be wise. You don't even need to be very smart, you just need to be wise. You just need to be wise, and you need to have an idea, a solution, and you know how to monetize it, you know how to lead a team, and you know how to go to the marketplace and dominate. You don't need to be a genius. Next, closest to sports. Entrepreneurship is the one thing that is closest to sport. If you're an athlete, or you used to love football and stuff like that, the competitive nature, like I earlier said, entrepreneurship is the sport of business. It's the sport of business. Like right now, what I'm doing right now is entrepreneurship, because I'm marketing, I'm selling, I'm driving, traction to this page, to my community. I'm raising the minds of so many people. That's entrepreneurship. It's sports. If you see the way we go about doing Saturday videos, Saturday talks every other day, you must be an athlete to be able to deploy that level of energy. All right, when I think about it, it's kind of, you need to tap into the Francine Gano mindset, where there's a lot of discipline, there's a lot of focus and determination in the way you do things. The Samuel Eto'o mindset is so methodic, he's so meticulous, he's so proactive, he's on top of everything that he's doing. The first time I met Samuel Eto'o, I just knew this guy hasn't slept for like 2-3 days, guys. The guy is on top of it. He's full of energy. He has poise. He has charisma. He's a true leader. It's a sport of business. Entrepreneurship is a real deal, man. If you're not ready, don't come for it. It needs you to burn some calories every day. Creativity. Creativity is one aspect that, comes with being an entrepreneur. Because you have to be creative, guys. You need a new strategy, a new idea, a new way of doing things, a new way of talking, a new way of dressing, a new way of packaging, a new way of selling, a new way of hitting the market so that you can become number one and dominate the marketplace. Creativity and entrepreneurship, they go together. That's one benefit, that you need to you're going to be having as a benefit of being an entrepreneur is going to push your creativity to its limits, you know, and the limits are boundless. Oh, sexy language. Entrepreneurs, they got their language. They got their language, man. If you're the guy who's got, you know, an ordinary job, you can't really speak the language of entrepreneurs. When two entrepreneurs speak, they understand themselves. You know, there's that level of mutual respect when I meet an entrepreneur. That's, you know, mobilize or building the kind of community we're trying to build, or it's running the kind of business, a financial institution that we're trying to build, and a small business and helping someone who is mentoring many entrepreneurs. When I meet that kind of a person, or someone who has already done that for so many years, there's a level of respect that I give that person, because that person is speaking the language. The language. Most people don't know the language. And guess what, guys? The language is sexy. The language is sexy. You need to see when entrepreneurs meet. You know, they can discuss like for like 3 days without sleeping. Guys, you know, I went for this project and this was what happened. You know, the excitement in that is so crazy. Like they can't even want to eat. They can discuss about their journey, their stories, to the point where they don't even want to. You don't even feel hungry because it's so sweet. The language is sexy. Most people want to become entrepreneurs because they want to benefit from that language, they want to understand it. Next, contributing to society. That's one of the greatest, man. Like, to become an entrepreneur gives you the possibility to contribute to your family, to your community, to your school, to your organization, to your society, to your country, to your continent, to the world at large. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, you know, has contributed a lot. Bill Gates contributed a lot. If you see all the gadgets, capitalism, the guy who came up with this smart screen like this, TV, you know, is contributing to the advancement of society. That's a benefit of becoming an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is so sweet, guys, so sweet. One thing I'm having this video is because a lot of people are saying, oh, I only discourage people on how to become an entrepreneur, but why am I still an entrepreneur? Here are 25 reasons I'm giving you on why I'm still an entrepreneur. It's for this reason. Next, control. Entrepreneurs got a lot of control. You control the system, you control, you know, the marketplace, you control your company, you control the money, you control a lot of stuff. But make sure the control do not get to excess. That's why in many of the structures that we create, that I'm a founder of, I try not to be the only decision maker, because that control too could backfire on you and it could let you get into so many troubles and problems, right? So you don't want to exaggerate. Moderation is very, very key here. Childlike and weird. I didn't say childish. Childlike and weird. Where you are an entrepreneur, you know, you become so childish in your nature. All right? You're always about the new idea. You're always about the new thing. You become so weird. You're strange in the eyes of so many people. You're very strange. You're so strange. Sometimes you act like a fool. People might think that, this guy losing it or what? Why what you just did is strange. But today, you're acting like a fool. The next day, you are the hero. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, guys. You are childlike. Childlike is different from being childish. A childlike person is somebody who tries many things all the time. He's not afraid to break things, all right? And he breaks things and he's up to the next thing. And he breaks things, he's up to the next thing. He's weird, you know. He forgives so quick. You know how children forgive so quick? That's how entrepreneurs do. You know, there's one guy who sent his link to me. One guy who disrespected me a long time ago. Recently, he sent his YouTube link to me. That, man, I want you to subscribe here. This is what I do with my YouTube. I said, no problem. I went there, subscribed, liked it, screenshot, sent to him that done. He was very surprised. I know he was very surprised. He never expected that from me. One other guy came and insulted me, and I had to put a quiz. He won, and I called him and gave him his prize. When he got into my inbox to kind of tell me, oh, I won, he saw how he disrespected me in the comment, in the conversation, and he was like, oh, bro, I'm sorry. I said, no problem, man. You just won. I need to give you a prize. Send me your number. And I send his Momo. Entrepreneurs are like that. They forgive too quick. They don't have time for the small stuff or the negative stuff. They're all about positivity. Guys,
Zanutuka, how we made it in Africa. Together we thrive until we win. Then we win. Be happy we dominate. We are 1,000 VIP winners in the whole wide world. How we made it in Africa. Together we thrive.